Alright, so we're going to look at the first part of the solo at Hell's Bells. And I'll just play it kind of under tempo so you can hear it. And then we'll break it down and learn how to play each part. There's some high stuff. We'll learn that stuff later, but let's look at this first part. So it starts up here at the 7th fret, and you do a little bar on the first 3 strings, and then you put your second finger down on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. So you have these 2 notes. 2nd string, and then the 3rd string is with your first finger, and there's that bar. What we're going to do is do a downstroke with the pick, and you're going to hit the 3rd and 2nd string together. And it helps, I like to have a couple of my fingers on the first string to mute it, so it doesn't sound. What we're going to do is a little hammer-on pull-off thing. So you do 2 downstrokes, then you lift your second finger, and stroke again, and then you do a hammer-on pull-off. And then you do another downstroke with your 3rd finger on the 3rd string. You could also do down-up. You can do either one actually with the pick. Down-up. One more time. So after you've got that, you kind of lift the bar and do your first finger and your second finger on the 3rd string and the 2nd string at the 7th fret. You want these 2 notes. You're going to pluck them together, and then you're going to slide them down. 7th fret and then the 5th fret. You can do down pick and then up pick. And then on the 4th string, your 3rd finger and then your 1st finger. You do a little hammer-on. Definitely pause this at any time if you want to practice that. Down, up, 3, 1. So all together. And I like to have my pinky at least on the 1st string the whole time, if not my 3rd finger. It helps mute the 1st string, and it helps have an anchor. Alright, here's the next part. You do a little bar across the top 2 or 3 strings with your 1st finger at the 5th fret. You do an up pick. You're hitting the first 2 strings. 2 strings together, and then your pinky and your 3rd finger on the 3rd and 2nd string, and then these 2 notes, 7th fret. You pluck those together and you bend them up a little bit and bring them back down. Up, then down pick. One more time. Just like that. So all together, or from here. So here's this first little section. And then that kind of ends with throwing your fingers up, sliding up just a little bit. Don't worry about doing that too literally. It's just kind of a cool thing at the end. And then it gets into the main part of the solo. So we go to the 4th string, and we do 1st and 3rd finger. You do a hammer on. Hammer on, then you pick again. Pluck, pluck, down, up. Then you move it down, 4th and the 5th fret, with your 1st and your 2nd finger. One more time. Now here's a really neat, cool part that happens. 1st finger on the 2nd fret, on the 4th string. Then you hammer on to your 3rd finger. And then you just do a little pull off. It happens really quick. And you pull off to your 2nd finger. So it's what's called a chromatic scale. It happens really quick. And you just lift your 3rd finger basically. And let it be your 2nd finger. And then very lightly you pluck the 5th string open. And this happens super fast, so it doesn't sound this weird when we actually do it. You do 2 down picks. Down, down. And as soon as you do this hammer on to your 3rd finger, you can start to lift your 1st finger on your left hand. You can lift like that. Because you need your 1st finger to go to A, which is the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. That note, you do... Sorry. And you grab that note. Don't try and do it with your pick, it's way too hard. I use my middle finger because it's open. You use that to pluck. Sometimes we do actually use our fingers to get other notes. We can't have the pick go all over the place. So slow motion goes like this. Pluck, then finger. Pick, finger. These are all even notes. Remember, when you hammer onto your 3rd finger, lift your 1st finger. Makes it easier. So work on that really slow. Try and get that smooth. Because eventually you want it to be a really just like smooth, quick thing. And after we've got that, you'll put your 3rd finger back down where it was on the 4th fret, and you slide that up, you pluck, and you slide it up to the 7th fret. Like that. So all together, that part looks like this. So from here, remember this part before it? Right, that's how that goes. I'll play it one more time, slow motion. So work on that section, you know, just pause it right here, go back if you need to. Good. Here's the next part. We'll do a bend that we've seen before. Use all 3 of your fingers on the 3rd string to help push the string up, right? It's always easier with 3 fingers instead of just 1. As much as you can. We're kind of going for this note That might be kind of hard on your guitar, but just bend up the best you can. You bend it up. And don't do this to the point where your hand hurts. We can figure out other ways to kind of do this on your guitar because you have heavier strings. But you push from the 7th fret, you bend up, and then your pinky should be free to play on the 2nd string, 8th fret. And these kind of ring together, and when you have a lot of distortion on it, it sounds very cool and very AC/DC. The 3rd finger, the 3rd string, starts to release so it comes back down. So it's something like this. And you do a down pick on the 3rd string, and an up pick on the 2nd string, so down, up. And then when you're plucking both strings together, you do down and up through both of them. And again, if you have fingers resting on the 1st string, that helps you anchor, and you can kind of smack into the 1st string and not worry about it ringing. Like that. And if it's kind of hard to get both of them to go, for the meantime, you could either just slide your 3rd finger up to here and do this, and do that to get it, or you could just do a bend and just work on the 3rd string and not worry about your pinky. Just like that. Both of those ways are perfectly fine. But if you can bend, go for it. So in context, it goes. And then once we release that, we come back down, we do a little pull off. So here's what happens. 1st finger on the 3rd string, you do an up pick, and then your 3rd finger on the 4th string, down pick, and then your pinky on the 3rd string, do an up pick, and then down again. This is a really good move just to learn and get really comfortable with. The pick goes up, down, up, down, up. 1st finger, 3rd finger, pinky. Your 1st and your 3rd fingers stay in place. They don't need to move. The only thing that moves is your pinky when it lifts off. Pinky. And these can ring. Eric Clapton does this move a lot. Like that. So with the bendy part before it. And here's the last part. The last part's pretty easy. It sounds like this. And you do your 3rd and 4th finger. Your 3rd and 2nd finger on the 3rd string and the 2nd string. Those 2 notes right there. You do a down pick, up pick. Down, up. And you slide it down, and your 3rd finger and your pinky both play on the 7th fret. So here, they're split, right? They're on different frets. And then you scoot it down, and they're on the same fret, and then you go back up to the same one, And then you just take that same shape and slide it up 2 frets to those 2 notes, 11th and the 10th fret. So it goes like this. One more time. And when you get comfortable with that, you want to try and get into each of them. You want an even rhythm like this. Again, pause at any time. And when you're comfortable with that, then you want to get into each of those by sliding. You do a down pick. Like that. That's where you just do a down pick and you slide into the note. Like that. You slide. Whoop. Like that. Alright, and I'll play everything one last time here. I'll try and play it up to speed with the recording. You can kind of hear how the whole thing goes. So, like that. And you can get there. I know you can absolutely do that, but you have to practice everything really slow. If you can't play it slow, there's no way you can get to doing the super quick. Right? Slow and steady. Happy practicing.